G'day folks and welcome to an Oz Cyclone Chasers Cyclone video update for the nation today, the 27th of February 2015. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update is sponsored by our major sponsor, Campbell Scientific Australia, when measurements matter. There is absolutely very little going on around the Australian tropics at the moment, just some standard seasonal showers and thunderstorms, some enhanced activity expected in the WA area over the next week as well in a fairly active trough system. This little surface low here, not too much going to happen with that. We will keep an eye on a new surface low that could form here over WA in the future. However, even that one is showing signs of remaining very weak. I guess the big focus point of ours will be over the coming couple of weeks up here in the northeast Coral Sea. We don't expect ex-tropical cyclone Marcia to redevelop. In fact, we expect it to die in the next 24 to 48 hours. And we're pretty sure it will do that. However, what we do expect to see is a new tropical cyclone develop up here in the northeast Coral Sea. Eventually should start to track westwards, and then the computer models at the moment are showing a southward motion of that system. However, how far off the coast it starts to push south could be all important in the long run. So that is where we're looking at, folks, and that's not until after next weekend. So not next weekend, the week after that. So we're still looking at a long way ahead, and so for the coming week, which is what this update will deal with, there's not too much coming up for us. On Monday morning, you can see fairly good agreement here on the computer model guidance that there's going to be something going on in this particular region inside the arrows here. So you can see here a lot of computer modeling predicting a tropical low or tropical cyclone to be located in that northeastern Coral Sea area. Just to qualify so there's no misunderstandings, this is Monday the 9th of March, not Monday in 3 days' time. And then you can see by Wednesday, the 11th of March, we have a very good agreement that there's going to be a tropical cyclone in the northern Coral Sea, but we just don't know whether it's going to be moving either westwards towards Queensland and then drifting southwards, or whether it's just going to drift southwards from that location in the Coral Sea. So we have all sorts of possibilities currently, from a south-southeastward moving system to a southward moving system to a westward moving, type motion where it just continues west all the way from out near Fiji. So we have all sorts of motions at the moment, all sorts of movements possible. It is likely to become a strong tropical cyclone, and the subscribers have known about this one for about a week now. We are looking at a strong tropical cyclone developing out of this at the moment, is the guidance that we're getting, but absolutely no idea where it's going to go. And look, we're going to avoid answering any questions on that particular system from any of our Facebook and social media followers until we know more. We're not going to know more until probably mid next week, maybe even later into next week. But just for now, just so you're aware, there is a tropical cyclone that we are expecting to develop somewhere in the northeast Coral Sea, and whether or not it comes our way, we just don't know. So looking at the nation for thunderstorms and rainfall potential, we can see that the Kimberley region of WA will continue to remain thunderstorm active, and also we're expecting to see some showers and storms all through the inland parts of WA. Now that's associated with a fairly active trough system and the possibility of seeing a very, very weak surface low also from that trough system. We can see a lot of rainfall in the Arafura Sea, and we can see ex-tropical cyclone Marcia here, and Marcia, as I mentioned, will get weaker and weaker as time progresses until she's no longer a feature on the synoptic map in the next day or two. Very long-lived system. Even as a low, it still has managed to linger on there as a low-level circulation centre. Across Queensland, isolated showers and thunderstorms, not too much in terms of rainfall potential in those. There might be some heavier stuff around the southeast corner this evening. As we go into tomorrow, and tomorrow afternoon and evening, we can see that ex-tropical cyclone Marcia is now almost a non-event. You can see here it's almost like a trough system now. We can also see a continuation of isolated showers and storms across the interior parts of Queensland, getting up into northern Queensland, which will be the area of maximum focus of that thunderstorm activity up here in the northern inland parts. Also, the NT region is expecting to see showers and storms. However, those showers and storms, the heavier stuff, will most likely be located on the far north coast. Now, there is going to be a bit of a clearance there tomorrow, according to most computer models, so we might only be seeing some isolated showers and storms really on that northwestern coast and the far northern coast, and I do mean the coast, not inland. So inland, we're expecting to see convective showers more so than storms. However, with the NT, it is fickle, and if we get a little bit more moisture in the mid-levels than we're expecting, we might see some pretty spectacular storms pop up. In those sort of marginal days, that's when they get the best storms, the best looking storms. Across into the Kimberley, we can see a lot of rainfall again, a lot of shower and storm activity created by just a lot of heat and humidity, and aided by a very, very weak surface trough feature there. Now, further to the south, though, in the interior parts of WA, we've got a fairly strong surface trough developing there. You can see this northeasterly coming into it here and creating some very heavy shower and storm activity on the Saturday night, and that shower and storm activity actually increases on Sunday. So on the Sunday, you can really see how some of that really heavy storm activity is developing around the Gascoyne region. We continue to see fairly active conditions on the Sunday afternoon and evening in the Kimberley region. Also, a bit of a return of moisture into the Northern Territory there on Sunday afternoon and evening, and so we see some heavier thunderstorm activity developing, and also a little bit further inland. Across Queensland, still isolated showers and storms in and along that surface trough line. But you can see that most of that storm activity is now located well inland, anywhere south of around about Cardwell or Tully. Anywhere further to the north there, you're in with an outside chance of picking up that storm activity. You can see here, ex-tropical cyclone Marsha has now completely weakened and is no longer a feature on your synoptic map. Now, what we are looking at, obviously, as I mentioned, is that not on that Monday, not Monday the 2nd of March. Remember, we're looking at Monday the 9th of March, a week's time, a week after this chart. We're starting to look at this area up here firing up and possibly looking at a tropical cyclone in that region. Remember, the initial movement of that is expected to be west, and then it's going to track south or southeast. How far west it gets? Well, we don't know yet. The other thing to note is that a really strong surface trough may create a low pressure system here near the Pilbara coastline, and we will need to watch that, not so much by Monday, but maybe later on in the week, next week. We might need to watch a surface low that might spin up here near the Pilbara coastline, not the Kimberley coastline. Now, if that does form offshore, well, the environmental conditions suggest that there might be some potential of that deepening. But at this stage, it's expected to be very weak and expected to form onshore. So it's expected to form near the coast or just inland of the coast. And so if that happens, obviously very limited cyclone potential. So overall, folks, other than the showers and storms along trough lines, it's a pretty boring week coming up cyclone-wise. We'll have another update for you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Remember, in the long term, we're looking at that Coral Sea system, but that is a long way away, and a lot of things can happen between now and then. We'll talk again on Tuesday.